Hello there, it's Monday, the 23rd of September, and we're here to look at the astrology. Well, supposedly the daily astrology, but actually, I thought what we'd do is look ahead at some interesting dates that are coming up in the month of October, and it's all to do with the Aries Libra axis. What I'm going to do to start with is share the chart and animate the chart and look at that. But if you don't understand charts, don't worry, because I'll be talking you through it. So you don't need to understand all these squiggles. You just sort of need to listen to the explanation. Okay, so I'll just share this and then there we go. So if you haven't seen a chart before, then the middle line is the horizon, that thick line. Everything above that line is in the sky above your head. Those are the planets above your head. And then everything below that line is on the other side of the planet Earth behind you. So we currently have a sun in Libra. So there's the sun sign and there's the Libra sign. See, it's that easy. And we have the moon clearly on the other side of the planet Earth. And that's at 17 degrees of Gemini. So the moon is approaching Jupiter, which is always nice. Jupiter's quite a beneficial planet, full of confidence. And in Gemini, these two are just going to enjoy a conversation, really, an exchange of information. So all that's sort of interesting in terms of Gemini is interested and interesting and loves to collect knowledge, etc. The sun being in Libra means that we've got a lot of air going on because Libra is an air sign, Gemini is an air sign. So, and that's pretty good. Okay, no problem at all. Right, what I want to do is animate this chart, which means I'm going to run the chart on, just moving something, there we go. I'm going to run this chart on in days. And what I'm going to do is stop when we get to an interesting point. What I'm looking at is the opposition here between these things in Libra. They've all got that same symbol there. These are called glyphs. They've all got the same glyph. And Aries over here. These signs are opposite. So we've got the Libra part of the sky here and the Aries part of the sky there. And together on an axis, these two have certain expressions and certain behaviors, certain mannerisms, and they share a polarity. Now, a polarity means the difference between yin, yang, masculine, feminine. And so if we've got masculine and they're both masculine, then one is going to be air and one is going to be fire. So Libra is the air sign, as I just said, and fire, the other masculine element, is Aries. Okay. Right. Now, they're going to share some other things as well. They're both what we call cardinal signs. Now, cardinality is something that gives these signs keywords such as initiating, spontaneous, instigating, leading. And so masculine, always moving outwards, always surging forwards, never pulling in, never retentive. Masculine moves outwards in straight lines. So we've got instigating, leading, masculine, surging outwards, radiating. Okay, so we already know all this without even looking into Libra and Aries in particular. Okay, so action, really. Cardinality is all about action and taking the lead in action. And masculine is all about action, moving forward, rushing towards something, always eager. Now, there is something else quite peculiar about this axis, and it's the world of one, Aries, versus the world of two, Libra. This is where we get those scales. the fulcrum scales of balance. You see them a lot in Egyptian art, don't we? So it's about the balance. And as far as Libra is concerned, balancing the scales is a lot more important than anything else. So Libra, known for its graciousness and its harmonious, likable, friendly demeanor, comes completely unhinged if it doesn't think something is fair or balanced, and turns into a raging Aries energy. The seed of one is in the other. And then Libra becomes distinctly aggressive, and it's rather more an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth than a luscious little Barbie doll. Anyway, right, I'm going to go back to that chart now. Okay, so as I said, I'm going to move forward in days because we've got some interesting stuff coming up. Now, if I send your eyes funny on this, and just look away briefly. Okay, so I'm moving over to this animation stuff here, and I've got days up, and I'm just going to click forward. Now, you will notice that there's a lot of movement in the chart, which is nothing to do really with the movement of the planets. So I won't say any more than that, otherwise you'll get confused. Right. Now, I'm stopping here because now the moon has come all the way around here and is now conjunct the sun, which means in the same part of the sky. So this obviously is a new moon. It's when the moon and the sun get together, and they are at 9 degrees of Libra. And of course, what we actually have there is a solar eclipse. The interesting thing about this particular solar eclipse is that it goes over the Pacific Ocean. It doesn't hit land hard at all, really. There's a few odd things. But when I say a few odd things, one of the most fascinating things is this eclipse will be seen as a total eclipse on Easter Island. Now, okay, that doesn't seem, okay, what's she on about Easter Island? I lived on Easter Island for 11 days a few years ago. I went over there, spent my entire time on Easter Island, and then flew all the way back again. I was fascinated by the island, and I was writing a book about it, so it was important to get there. Anyway, that island is 11 miles by 8 miles by 3 miles. And the path of an eclipse is very narrow, very, very narrow. Okay, so how Easter Island manages to get this eclipse. And here's the most amazing other fact. They also had a total solar eclipse in 2010, right? So 14 years ago. There are some areas of the UK which have never seen an eclipse. This island suddenly gets two this decade. I'm absolutely fascinated. Well, not this decade, this century. So I'm absolutely fascinated by that. And it's ringing loud with coincidences and bells, and there's something in this. Yes, I can hear you all saying, well, that's not a coincidence. It isn't. So anyway, more on East. I mean, as I say, I was there, and there isn't an inch of that island I haven't been over, and it was a fantastic place. It is barren, but at the same time, it's so interesting. But anyway, right. I'm just going to go back to the share now. Sorry, I'm digressing on time. Right, so we've got that coming up on the 2nd of October. Yes, that's right. And then I want to move forward again, and I'm this time probably going to go quite quickly, because what I'm after doing is getting that moon all the way around to Aries. And now I've moved the moon through to 28, but in actual fact, I could mess around with hours, but it doesn't matter. You'll just have to believe me. 8 hours previously, the moon was at 24. And so this full moon is about 24 degrees Libra and 24 degrees Aries. So it's a moon Eris conjunction. This is Eris, this is Chiron. This is fascinating. It really is. I mean, I'll tell you more about Chiron in a moment, but just to point out, well, we've got the chart here, we've got Mars squaring this. That's also in a cardinal sign. And we've got Pluto over here also squaring it. So we've got a grand cardinal cross. This particular day, 17th of October, is certainly one to put in your diary. And obviously, I should think every astrologer will be covering it. But I'm just stopping the share there again, because I do want to say something about Chiron in contact with outer planets. Now, this is a specific combination involving a planet, if you want to call Chiron a planet, that represents human suffering and a particular kind of bereft, meaningless, hopelessness feeling. It represents humanity's woes, humanity's wounds, humanity's failings, a deeply humiliating and embarrassing issue sometimes for people. It tends to really make us run for our cave and howl when we get in there. And often we are so humiliated by Chiron's wounding that we don't admit it, we hide it. So we've got and this is I mean, this is an archetype, it's in all human beings, and we learn with that pain to heal ourselves and forgive ourselves. Don't forget what I'm always saying. You cannot heal what you don't feel. If you want to heal something, you have to feel something. You cannot heal that which is not felt. Chiron is all about feeling it so that it can be healed. So Chiron's wounds are the ones that make us wise, said Melanie Reinhardt. Anyway, put Chiron in touch with an outer planet and you have a very, very interesting outcome, because it's going to be something which hits humanity hard and yet carries all the hallmarks of the outer planet and its keywords. So I'll just give you an example here. So that COVID virus, yes, that one, the one that shut the world down in 2010, that whole thing in astrology was symbolized by Chiron and Makemake, one of the Kuiper Belt dwarf planets. Eris is a Kuiper Belt dwarf planet. Eris is more powerful than Makemake. Eris is getting into a conjunction with Chiron next year, but we are starting to get the early symbolism of this now. This is absolutely one to watch. I was the first to catch on to the Makemake Chiron configuration as representing the whole COVID experience. And I think probably I was one of the first to raise the issue of Eris and Chiron next year. I think there's a video out that I did in May or June about it. I don't think many astrologers are picking up on it yet, but they probably will now, because as soon as one astrologer says it, then all of them saying it. So you'll hear it. But because I have studied the dwarf planets so closely, because I've written books on them, because I'm considered one of the world experts on them, I do feel very close to home with them. And I can sense Eris's rage at being left out of the party, and also Eris's fantastic ability to bring a natural karma to any situation. That you don't need a law court with Eris around. Eris is the karmic thing that they say, when it goes, oh, I wouldn't want his karma or her karma. Well, this is the real karma planet. And it brings discord and disarray and all kinds of breakdowns and issues, and rage, yes. However, Eris is possibly one of the best planets also, because Eris can give you a hell of a shove in the right direction and get you well ahead in the race, which is what Eris is all about, really. It's about ignoring the road rage, ignoring all the other so-and-sos, and just getting on with your own stuff, powering forward with the energy that you'd rather turn around and hit them in the face with. So, anyway, so I'm going to talk loads about it, but it's one I want you to watch because it's for certain one of the biggest things coming up for next year, despite the fact that we've got all those big movements of outer planets moving into new zodiac signs. This is nevertheless an aspect to keep your eyes on, this conjunction. Okay, so I think the fact that we're getting this full moon, which so totally is displaying the Eris Chiron conjunction, that I think this is the cosmos just sort of giving us a heads up. Here's a little nod. This is what you've got coming. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be great. Right, okay then. So thank you very much for listening to that. And it's been great to talk to you. And there'll be another video tomorrow. And don't forget, I do readings. Go to my website, alisonchesterlambert.com. That wasn't difficult, was it? Go to my website and you'll read all about it there and testimonials and stuff. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Thank you very much. Bye.